through the magnanimity of the NCA, what is going on? And the initial directive was going to be that we're going to block, we're going to delink, and then we're going to remove. But through the magnanimity of the NCA, what is going to happen now is that, so they will block. So when we block, now all the fraudsters and all of that, will not have access again. But then you have the opportunity, so you can do a call, you can send a text message, you can do data, you can do your mobile money.
It's a new month. Hello, good morning. Welcome to yet another exciting edition of Let's Talk Ghana here on Studios 2 Television. This is the show where we put Ghana first in all of our conversations. I am Eric Mawina Egbeta. Coming up on today's edition of the show, over 9 million SIM cards disconnected after they failed to meet the NCA's May 31 deadline. Well, coming up on today's edition of the show, we put the spotlight on not the individuals whose cards have been disconnected, but persons who are struggling to lay hands on Ghana cards to enable them get back their disconnected SIMs. But the NCA says that there is a lifeline that affords you the opportunity to keep your number and your money if you still have money on your mobile money wallet. We get into the details shortly. Plus, Ken Agyapong expected to pick nomination forms later today at the NPP's headquarters. We'll give you exclusive details when Alan Tremantain and some market queens really took his turn or took his place to pick forms for him. If you stay with us here on Let's Talk Ghana on Studios 2 Television, we're back shortly. Right, you're welcome back to Let's Talk Ghana here on Studios 2 Television. Like I mentioned, this is the show where we put Ghana first in all of our conversation. It airs every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays here on Studios 2 TV, as well as on Facebook. A delight as well to always hear from you if you give us feedback as to the content that we continue to deliver to you here on this channel. We're starting today's edition of the show on SIM cards because today is the 2nd of June, Friday, but on May 31, which was the last day of the month of May, and the deadline as set by the National Communications Authority, over 9 million SIM cards were disconnected for failure to be able to re-register with their Ghana cards. It's a two-pronged registration process. The first, where you link your SIM data with your Ghana card, and then you proceed to your telco office for biometric capture. That was the two-pronged approach. There's been deadlines reviewed upon deadlines reviewed, but the NCA said that the May 31 deadline was the last of its kind, and after that, anybody who would fail to even start the first process will be disconnected. That has taken full force as persons are now unable to make phone calls and the likes. We'll get into their concerns and all of that shortly. But the NCA says that they are giving all the 9 million SIM cards a lifeline. And what is that lifeline? That the cards will remain active only for registration purpose. So if you don't have your Ghana card or you've not been able to complete the registration, you can dial *404 to begin the process to register if your SIM has been disconnected. So if you don't have your Ghana card as at yesterday and your SIM was disconnected, and today you have it, though you may not be able to make phone calls, be able to access data services, be able to use USSD platforms to get your money on your SIM card, you can dial *404 and begin the registration process and end up at your telco office and have the biometric capture as well taking place. But that, for some, is not really a lifeline, as they cannot get access to their monies, their hard-earned monies, because through no fault of theirs, they don't have their Ghana cards. We'll get into all of that shortly, but the executive director of the Chamber of Telecommunications Network, Ken Agyapong, Dr. Ken Agyapong, he made that disclosure of this lifeline as introduced by the National Communications Authority. He spoke only to Joy FM, and so we'll have to take a listen to exactly the details as he spots them out.
Through the magnanimity of the NCA, what is going and the initial directive was going to be that we're going to block, we're going to delink, and then we're going to remove. But through the magnanimity of the NCA, what is going to happen now is that, so they will block. So when we block, now all the fraudsters and all of that, will not have access again. But then you have the opportunity, so you can do a call, you can send a text message, you can do data, you can do your mobile money. But you have the opportunity to be able to dial *404# to be able to register when you get your Ghana card. You also be able to check whether you're registered. So the 400 would also be working. And then, so now when you go back with your Ghana card, you can restore your number with all the history that is behind it. Also, typically like the police, if somebody has committed crime, in what we're going to do initially, it would have wiped up all of that evidence. So the police can still go back in there and be able to go and investigate it. And also for the about 7 million or so whose mobile money will be affected, what has happened is if you restore, you will get access to it. If you don't restore, what was going to happen is that the Bank of Ghana has asked the EMIs who operate mobile money to put that money in an account aside so that with the right evidence, you'll be able to go and get it. But what the NCA has done smartly is that there is no timeline for this. So the NCA could decide that 2 days later, I am going to delink, remove.
And then you lose access to
you lose it.
To your Momo?
No, you lose the access to your Momo, there now you will lose it.
Okay.
The only way you do is going to get your Ghana card.
And register.
But if the NCA decide that this window they've given, after a week, they are going to stop it. What is going to happen is that
blocks you forever.
It will block you forever. You will not have your number. And you should bear in mind, even if this is the number you use to do your banking and your OTPs are sent on it, from midnight, what is going to happen? The telcos is about 9 million so for everything else.
Right, so there you have it, the explanation from the chief executive of the the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunication, and amongst many things, continue to make the argument that this is to curb fraud. But confidently seated here, since the re-registration process, there's still been individuals who've called my phone seeking to siphon money out of my account. It will be interesting to know whether this comes to an end with the disconnection of these over 9 million SIM cards as we've seen it. But our focus today is not on the disconnection or whether or not what action NCA is taking. It's on the 9 million and the potential individuals who have not been able to lay their hands on Ghana cards to enable them re-register their SIMs. We visited the headquarters of the National Identification Authority, the body responsible for producing the national cards, and it was near chaotic as quite a number of people had gathered in their numbers seeking to just grab a Ghana card for themselves so they can register their SIM cards. A few of them had this to say to us.
I was here yesterday. I couldn't register. That's why I'm here today. The SIM is what I work with. If it's disconnected, I will suffer.
Somebody we can because maybe I made me worry. Yes, sure. Say name is Abraham card.
They should extend the deadline.
And so concerns of Ghanaians who continue to throng the headquarters of the National Identification Authority just wanting a Ghana card to be able to register their SIM card. Some have monies on these disconnected SIM cards, and I wouldn't say thankfully, but one of such persons is Marge, one of our key technical hands here at Studio 2 Television. He's joining me in studio, so we have a conversation. So Marge, you heard some of these people who've made their way to the NI head office looking for their Ghana cards. You don't have your Ghana card as well. Is this something that you share in, their frustration, their sentiment? Is this something you share in?
Good morning to your viewers. Yes, it's been difficult for us because right now it's like it's not our fault, but we are to blame. We are to face the consequences.
Right.
Because right now you have followed up with your Ghana card, etc. I don't know if they give us, like, they picture it in this way as they see it like maybe you might be working, you won't get the time to go queue for a Ghana card.
Right.
Maybe you don't have the money because right now it's like you have to pay.
You've gone. Have you tried going
Yeah,
to register?
I've tried
and-
to go.
and you are-
I've tried going to this thing, Elwak,
Elwak
like
Park.
2 times, and I've applied for it. They gave me dates to come back. I've went there. I've gone there 2 times. I've not gotten the Ghana card, and I went to the one at Accra, and they were demanding for money. You have to pay some money.
How much
before-
money? How much money
It was
were
like
they demanding
300
from you?
cedis. Yes,
You were being
300
asked to pay
cedis.
300
Yes,
cedis.
but at that moment I didn't have money to pay, so I have to come back home. So you have to come and hustle for money. If you have not gotten the money, how do you do it? You are still there, and you are a Ghanaian. You have to do all that to get your Ghana card. And right now, you have not gotten the money to do it or something, and then they have given you dates that it will be cut off, and the date is up. Right now, you are using this number for all your calls, money, transaction, and things, and they will just cut you like this. How do you make your calls? How do you miss your calls? Like, even if it is a business calls and things.
How long have you used your SIM card
I
to
think-
start off with? This SIM that has been disconnected now, because I tried calling you and I couldn't reach you.
MTN that. Okay, I'll say Ghana government. Because they said it's not their fault. The internet providers, they said it's not their
Yeah.
fault. So I think it's like 13 to 15 years now.
You've used
Okay,
that
no,
card
yeah, I think it's 15 years now.
for 15 SIM card
Yeah,
for 15
15
years
years now, and-
but now you cannot use it
And I'm
again.
sure I've invested a lot in them.
In the company.
Yeah, because my mobile money stuff, the business, the up and down transaction.
So
and
how,
things.
how do you receive money now? Because
Receive money? I even have money in it and I can't even withdraw it.
Really?
Yeah, I even have money in it and I can't even withdraw it.
Well, the NCA says that there's a lifeline, what do you say, a process to which you can follow and retrieve your money. All you have to do is go and get your Ghana card, and then you can start the process and get your number and get your all the money in your mobile money wallet.
It's all the same. Because you are saying there is a process, but all you have to do is get your Ghana card. It's the same thing. If you don't have the Ghana card, meaning you can't do anything. So right now, what I will plead to the government is like they should find a way that we can get the Ghana card easily, because there's too much hustling to get the Ghana card, and this money issue that's involved with it. Or you see, there's too much hustling to get the Ghana card. That's the problem. And with that side, I don't know, because I don't have the Ghana card to go to the MTN office.
Yeah.
Because I heard that with that too, you go and queue and things. Some will even go and they will not get to register their SIMs. But at the end of the day, they will be cut off.
They'll disconnect you.
Yeah.
So you want an extension of some sort of the registration process for the Ghana card, because
Yeah.
that now is the challenge that you are
Not
facing.
only the extension, but I think there should be a way, because I think this is for Ghanaians, and they have their reasons for doing this. Maybe it's to help we ourselves. Like, so they should have, like the way they did it before, like communities bringing people to register, so they can do it in such a way that like it will be easy for us to get the Ghana cards.
Right then, that's March. He's one of the technical hands here at Studios 2 Television. I tried reaching him today, couldn't, because his SIM card has been disconnected. You heard him mention that he doesn't even have access to his mobile money wallet. And so if individuals he's worked with, people want to pay him for work that he's done, he cannot receive it. Has to find an alternative number to which these persons, and the process of trying to reconnect with individuals all over again, because there could be a family emergency and they cannot reach him on the lines that they've known for 15 years that he's been using that particular SIM card. This is still Let's Talk Ghana here on Studios 2 Television. We're going for a break. When we return, we'll veer into the domain of politics because the governing New Patriotic Party, they are still holding out nominations, or they've opened nominations for persons interested to want to be flag bearers of the party, pick up nominations. Ken Agyapong is expected to pick nominations today, but we'll get exclusive details when Alan Tremantin pick nomination forms on Wednesday. Stay with us. Right, you all come back from that quick break. Like I mentioned before the break, we're veering into politics now, where the governing New Patriotic Party has opened nominations for persons who are interested in wanting to lead the party come elections 2024. So far, 8 individuals, including Dr. Baumia, Alan Tremantin, Kwabena Gyakpo, and the likes, have picked nominations for the presidential primary, which comes off in November of this year. Today, Ken Agyapong, the Asin Central MP, is expected to pick nominations. But what is also interesting with the governing New Patriotic Party is that it's increasingly looking like they may head to an electoral college in August of this year to trim down the number from now. The projections are that there could be as many as 10 individuals wanting to be the party's next flag bearer. The electoral college will trim down that number to 5. And so 8 have picked so far. Ken Agyapong is expected to pick today. That will make it 9. Then there's Joe Garte as well, who picked yesterday as well. So it's already 9 even. He's picked yesterday as well. And so that brings the number to 9. As to whether or not any other individuals will be interested in wanting to lead the party remains to be seen, because it's a month-long exercise which affords as many individuals as possible the opportunity to want to pay 50,000 cedis to pick up the forms and return with 300,000 cedis to file. But yesterday, or on Wednesday rather, when Market Queens went to pick nominations for Alan Tremantin, we here at Studios 2 Television got exclusive footages of what the entire nomination session is like, and here's exactly what transpired throughout that entire process.
That's for the people, not for the boys. No sides. Yes. Ghanaian's choice. Yes.
And the receipt. And the other said, "What be ye? Craft up on my line. What the Abidja or my Ghana name? I the president and all. Am I? We are him said, a day assembly, your power line on 2 years of surprise. Now, Santina, my boy, and you said, or you saw him off when he did before I had this one. Yako tough, Yabato, and you said me tough also. And the Ama, your papa. Na ya papa no bia ntua se ono de ne de edwedifo ma de oni onwo abro na Ghana ha bibia so beko ye edwedi e first sa man we se dwedi ni mpra ga enti nko ye ni se eti se na oba ya awose ma dwedi aye fe na sai unique no ama ye ni age ho papa ahema fo ya wa ha yi ye ma and yeah, for most of them, delegates. It's your best delegate, I want to Wabba. Say, at Dumpa, yeah, you want for Scientini, maybe say near Obia. Obia Babas Yala, while Madia and Tuaba, Ala and my and Tuaba, and I buy and Tuaba, yes, Ramo delegate, and Madaroma. Mumway, oh my, Mumway.
It is expected of him to return these forms on or before 24th of next month. Then we'll communicate to him when the vetting will be due. He's expected to have as many as 10 people per region to endorse the forms. In the course of the campaign, if there's any cause for concern, he must revert to the elections committee. I'll plead with you that we have the New Patriotic Party to win election 2024. Yes. Please revert to the vetting committee. As we speak, the National Council of Elders have drawn a timetable to meet with all prospective candidates. Let's protect the New Patriotic Party for victory
Yes, and a bomb and red trouble. The manatee has said, "I'm for the head and the town best." And he was the put down, Abraham Eva. I am man for the points of Praha and the false. Yenya, every can Sasa the Disca, and the other false from my area. Now I'm really I'm not so. Yenya the Disca, after false, you know. I will buy the receipts. I'm on there. Yaba a party office. Aba beje forms no. Say the bray you are alive. Because of say share the book. What's an ana edu. Na ya him afo I better it ya be use happy for India my ya. Ya ji tum se kunudie.
Minyami aye wie akase be pie woni pani so. Nyamia ye akase be woni pani so. Minyamia ye akase be woni pani so. Oh nyamia ye akase be woni pani so. Oh ono kwa fuade.
There are two things that I'm grateful to you for. First, you made a promise to me that when the time and the opportunity arises and nominations open for those of us who are interested in contesting for the leadership of our party, that you would gather your members and make a contribution to support me in picking the nomination forms. This is exactly what you've done. You fulfilled your promise, and I'm very grateful to you. Secondly, I listened to...
And so that's what it looks like when an individual is interested. Obviously, a lot of the individuals who've picked up their nomination forms, it's been less and less of the pomp and pageantry, but the Queen Mothers, dressed in quite very rich traditional regalia, did not shy away from coming in some style to pick up the nominations for Alan Chairman. And if you heard the tomato seller queen in Kumasi, she says that the delegates and the people want Alan Chairman. That's up to the persons within the NPP, card-bearing members of the party. We'll end the show with the notice by the Electoral Commission which says that by-election in Asin North will come off on the 27th of June of this month. As you'd recall, the Supreme Court on the 17th of May affirmed a Cape Coast High Court ruling which annulled the entire electoral process, which saw the election of James Jachikwesin as a member of Parliament for Asin North, and further ordered that Parliament expunge his name from their record books. What it meant was that that seat was vacant, and we brought you details when the Clerk of Parliament wrote to the EC chair to announce the vacancy. Now the Electoral Commissioner, Madam Jean Mensah, has set June 27 as day for the by-election. We'll be there to bring details to you as and when it comes through. On the part of the NDC, though, James Jachikwesin says that he will contest, he will be the face of the NDC in the constituency, and so we look forward to it. That's our show for today. It came to you live here on Studios 2 Television, on YouTube as well as on Facebook. We'll return on Monday with a lot more as to what is boiling here in Ghana. I am Eric Mawena Egbeta. A pleasure that you could be a part of today's edition.
Studios 2 TV. The truth is here, in your eyes.